Go. Stream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kraus and Tony Show on the Kraus
and Kraus. You cannot contain me within some stupid visual novel. We'll break free, fricker.
Yes. Wait,
Yeah.
you're gonna leave the visual novel?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. Do you want Kraus out of the visual novel? Would you like to meet him in real life?
I would love to meet Kraus in real life. That would be awesome.
I'd like it if he had the same voice you gave him. He looked the same.
No, he just has a regular voice, and I'm just like... He actually his consciousness just transfers over to me. But I use the voice consciously, and so he still has the voice. Which makes complete sense, everyone.
So this is the Wednesday the 16th episode, I think.
Wow, that's like a long time.
That's in like a week and a half.
Yeah, the day after I have an interview. Wow.
A job interview?
A volunteer interview.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, from the day this comes out, Mike's going to be interviewing someone.
Yeah. Yep, that's what's going on. It's decided.
Okay, well, I'm ready to read. I think I'll start narrating, and if it turns out that it's Badler, then you can jump right in.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hideyoshi's claim that advertising doubled the taste was apparently right. After being chased out to the guest house, the kids and Nanjo had gathered in the cousin room and were eating the cake that Kumasawa had brought for dessert. It was... Oh yeah, because a week ago... We haven't read this for like a week. It ended with the cousins. They all got chased out.
Yeah, because there was like the letter.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, well, not the letter.
No, it wasn't a letter. What was it?
It was something else. It was Beatrice actually coming up. Like, not
Oh,
physically.
yeah, they asked Kraus about it. Like, oh, there's another guest here. And then Natsui and Kraus were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then they're like, what is going on? There's a woman here. We don't know what's going on. Yeah, okay, I remember.
I mean, I'd be freaked out too.
Yeah. It was both wonderful and high class, topped with lavish amounts of cream and decorated deliciously with fruits. But delicious as it was, it didn't taste quite as good for some reason.
Oh, who would have fucking known? Without Goda selling it, it isn't nearly as good. And if we ask Kumasawa to sell it, she'd just say it's made of mackerel. Fucking delicious.
Really? You can make cake from mackerel?
Oh, absolutely. And as you can see with this very cake, if you mix the squeezed juice of mackerel with flour and eggs before cooking, it comes out all fluffy. Oh.
That'd be incredible if true. Maybe mackerel cake will show up on a new menu at one of Father's restaurants. Or maybe you're just a crazy fucking bitch. After all, mackerel's full of nutrients and sounds healthy. It might get really popular with women and the elderly, but I'm not gonna get anywhere near it. Fuck off. Girls won't eat something that weird.
Even the elderly would wish to decline. Oh, but it's delicious, you know. Kumasawa was really cheering up the mood with her classic mackerel jokes.
Yep, those mackerel jokes. So good.
Yeah, but the sound of the downpouring rain kept turning their attention towards the mystery guest. In the end, they showered Maria with questions again, since she was the only person here to have met Beatrice. They're always just interrogating Maria all the time.
Yeah, and Maria doesn't even know.
Yeah, she's like
anything.
9 years old.
Yeah, that's all. That's who the fuck knows, dude. I can't believe she was actually telling the truth. You make it sound like though you never believed it. This Maria meets a witch business isn't news to you. Yeah, I thought it was just one of those fairy tales you'd expect from a dreamy kid at that age.
She exists. Beatrice exists every year when we come to the family conference. I meet her and we play together, and I eat her.
That's right. Although Beatrice doesn't usually show herself, I hear she sometimes unexpectedly appears before honest people with clean hearts. Ho ho ho! Beatrice referred to that character in the fairy tale about the Rockinjima witch. To keep Kinzo in a good mood, the family and servants acted as though they believed in the witch of his delusions. That's how Rockinjima's fairy tale, or maybe ghost story, had come into being. To the family members who knew that backstory, the fairy tale of the Golden Witch wasn't something to be taken too seriously. However, they were never able to say that out loud in front of Kinzo. Because of that, the legend of the witch carried a lot more weight to someone like young Maria, who didn't know the story of how it had come into being. That's why Maria believed in the legend of the witch. She accepted it entirely. That was only natural for an imaginative girl who believed in witches. So people had avoided saying things that would betray her dream. On the contrary, they had worked together to say and do things that would help liven up her dreams without her knowing.
So when Maria was showing us that candy that supposedly came from Beatrice, I figured someone subtly slipped it into her handbag.
I have done similar things a few times in the past, secretly placing sweets somewhere. I imagine even Kumasawa, or rather all of the servants and everyone in the Ushiromiya family has done it once or twice.
So, if it'll make a small innocent kid happy, you might place a sweet somewhere and have everyone join in on keeping the secret alive for her. Come to think of it, I bet you do that thing all the time, George. Who knows?
It'd probably be boorish to admit such a thing out loud. George admitted it while being extremely wary that Maria didn't find out.
In other words, it's kind of like Santa Claus. To protect a kid's dreams, the parents plot together and lie, setting presents at the bedside of a child fast asleep. After all, you want to protect a kid's dreams, right? Obviously, I know Santa doesn't exist for a long time now, but there's no reason to wake up from a dream like that. I wish I could have believed it all my life.
Because adults know that the world is filled with terrible things, they all want to at least protect the pure dreams of a child.
Oh, Beatrice exists.
Yes, she does. Beatrice does exist, right? Some time ago, when I was drying mackerel to make some black tea, suddenly...
Well, it basically goes something like that, supposedly at least. So, simply put, this was supposed to be a witch that no one but Maria believed in. Or I wouldn't phrase it quite like that. The point is that we didn't believe. We were all trying to give her a chance to believe. But now she believes too hard.
So this is about not betraying a child's innocence. But Santa doesn't exist in reality. If you don't want kids to be all disappointed when they learn the truth, you'd be better off not showing them that dream in the first place. Oh, it's you.
Oh, it's me, maybe. Is the fact that I think like this proof that I'm still a long way from becoming a full adult. The true nature of the Rockinjima witch was finally starting taking shape in Battler's mind.
What is the true nature of the Rockinjima witch was finally starting to take shape in Battler's mind? It switched back. However, their current situation overrode this understanding, and in fact, it completely overturned its very premise.
So, we thought we knew what was going on, but now Beatrice, the witch, has actually appeared in reality. Is that it? And judging by how freaked out her parents were, it looks like she wasn't an invited guest. Now it's starting to get interesting. There's no reason for us to simply assume that a woman called Beatrice doesn't exist. It's what Uncle Rudolph calls devil's proof. None of us knew that a woman calling herself Beatrice existed. But it's not the same as proving that Beatrice doesn't exist. Fucking George. Shut up. Nerd. Dr. Nanjo, you've been friends with grandfather for a long time, right?
At one point during the family conference, I was questioned quite thoroughly by Kraus and the others. They wanted to know if, long ago, Kinzo might have had a mistress called Beatrice and an illegitimate child with her.
I get it. Our parents have their heads full with the inheritance problem. So of course if the daughter of a mistress like that showed up, it'd be troublesome for them.
Kraus and the rest probably asked Genji about it first. However, Genji is an aide who swore loyalty to Kinzo, and is probably a friend more trusted by Kinzo than myself. I doubt he told them anything. So next they went to ask me, as an old friend of his.
And? Did grandfather have a lover called Beatrice, Dr. Nanjo? Silence.
He did.
What the fuck?
No, I have never met her. However, I have heard from Kinzo that he had a relationship with a woman like that. He said she passed away a very long time ago.
She's dead. So did the two of them have a kid?
That I do not know, but Kinzo always says that reviving Beatrice is the goal of his research. Usually, if one loses a mistress but has a child left behind to remember them by, they pour all of their love onto that child. Therefore, we naturally assumed that there was no such child between Kinzo and Beatrice.
So that leaves us with another devil's proof.
Yeah, it's impossible to prove that a child between him and a mistress didn't exist. So now that this child has actually appeared, we have to assume that she did exist after all.
That's a bit of a rushed argument. It's more realistic that someone caught wind of the trouble with the Ushirimiya family inheritance, knew about grandfather's relationship with a mistress long ago, and impersonated her, trying to take a slice of the inheritance for themselves. Sure, that is realistic, but we can't deny the possibility that she really is an illegitimate child, one who lived in isolation, forgotten by grandfather, and who's returned for revenge, right?
Revenge? What do you mean?
Sorry. Guys just like to dramatize stuff to make it sound interesting. I see too many weird dramas.
Normally that might have come off as a light joke, but the joke had landed after an uninvited mystery guest calling herself Beatrice had marched in on the day of the family conference where the bloody argument that the inheritance had become took center stage. There was no way Battler's joke would be welcomed with laughter, so it was a really big help when Nanjo laughed brightly to calm everyone down.
Ha 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 ha! I see, that does sound quite intriguing. I would love to read a novel with a plot like that.
Well, I don't think it could actually work. After all, right now, on this island, there's 1, 2, 3, a full 18 people, right? If anyone tries to do something weird, they'll immediately get caught. And thanks to the typhoon, they can't even leave the island. In other words, if you tried to commit some crazy crime, you'd be screwed. Or agree. In a dead end without any way to escape, and in a situation where everyone's really suspicious of her. I seriously doubt she could pull off a terrifying revenge drama like that.
Probably not. In that case, it would be more realistic if she had come in secret without making her presence known. I simply cannot imagine someone appearing openly to take revenge outside of some historical drama.
Well, who knows, right? Revenge is based on emotion, not logic. If you've got someone willing to go down along with their opponent, they might not be afraid of anything, not even the police or large numbers of people.
It's okay, Jessica. None of the disturbing things we're imagining will happen. That's Yeah. He sound like the battle royale Fortnite between our parents over the inheritance is disturbing.
That's right. Dad and Uncle Rudolph are pretty tough, and Aunt Ava's even trained in the martial arts. We'll be fine. Yeah.
Jessica didn't say it out loud, but she'd vaguely noticed that her own father stood in opposition to all the other siblings on the inheritance issue. They usually played nice in front of the children, but when that pretense was lifted away, like it had been at dinner, the result would be a tumultuous uproar. After realizing this, it was only natural for Jessica to be frightened at the thought that her parents might get caught up in some kind of trouble and become human sacrifices for something terrifying.
Seriously, your parents are not gonna die, Jessica. George is right. Nothing's gonna happen. Even if she pretends she's a witch, what can a single human woman who can't even use magic do? Kablamo. No, this is me.
It's Maria. Oh. That's a good key. The sudden creepy laugh made all of them jump, and when they realized the strange laugh was coming from Maria, they were shocked again.
I see. So that's how you see it, Battler.
What is? Don't laugh all creepy like that.
You accept Beatrice's existence for now. At least you accept her as the 19th person and guest. But that's all right. You don't accept that 19th person, Beatrice, is a witch, right?
Of course, all the crazy things to say. Of course, what? Of all the crazy things to say, of course it's what I think. Witches couldn't possibly exist. The only possibility is that she's a human woman claiming to be a witch.
Isn't that odd, Battler? That's a devil's proof, isn't it? Of course witches don't exist. But just because you've never met a witch, that doesn't mean you've proven that witches don't exist, right?
That's right. You're not wrong there. I can't prove that witches don't exist. However, even if I can't prove it, I can claim it. I claim that witches don't exist. They just don't exist anymore.
Why? How can you claim that witches don't exist even though you can't prove it?
Because things like that don't exist.
So that's QED. You finished your proof without any evidence or basis. Now there's a typical case of the ignorant willfully ignoring the shallowness of their own knowledge, a reckless suspension of thought.
Then there's only one way to resolve this, Maria. The witches' side needs to show us some proof themselves. It's the devil's proof again. If you bring me a devil, we can end this right now. In this case, we can just get this woman calling herself Beatrice to display some wonderful, magnificent magic like the twinkling stars. All she has to do is show us something. That's impossible for humans, right?
Come now, you two. Please, settle down. Kumasawa noticed that the atmosphere between them was getting worse and tried to calm them. It seemed as though Battler quickly realized that he wasn't acting like an adult, but Maria's expression didn't loosen. As she laughed creepily, she kept staring at Battler.
You quit it too, Maria. Let's get back to it in a good mood, okay? Let's just stop thinking about all of our parents dying.
Shut up, you fucking dumbass.
If that's what you want, Beatrice will definitely show you something impossible for humans. When she does, you'll believe too, okay? You'll believe in Beatrice.
Sure. If she lets me have a look, I'll believe.
It's a chess debate between the witch and you, Battler. If you get checkmated, you'll believe in a witch. In the witch.
Oh, I like the way you put that. The witch shows her magic. My king is put into check. I quibble, saying it'd be possible to reproduce her feat using measures that even a human could take. and my king escapes. Failing to do that would be checkmate, so that's a pretty good analogy. You fucking dumbass.
Balor, in chess you and your opponent have pieces that move the same way, so you can predict your opponent's moves. But you know what? What you aren't expecting is that your opponent's pieces might be able to move in ways far stranger than yours. You have simply assumed that, since witches must not exist, the movements of Beatrice's pieces will obviously be the same as your own. But you know what? Sorry, Balor, but your chess partner isn't human. She's a witch. She can move her pieces in ways that humans can't. Right now, your understanding is flawed. Balor, you like Aunt Kiri's chessboard thinking, right?
Yeah, I like that side of thinking where you stand in your opponent's shoes.
And that's why you'll get stuck. Even though your opponent is a witch, you won't accept it. So you can't understand the moves a witch might make, and your chessboard thinking won't work. Your knowledge of your opponent is mistaken. The very first premise of chessboard thinking is broken down. You fucking dumbass.
So that's your game. And that's your name.
You cannot win in chess against a witch.
Oh, we're outside now.
Outside? Wow. I totally love being rained on. So nice.
Oh, it's George and Shannon.
Oh, hey. Love story.
I don't know what happened after that. We servants were strictly ordered not to approach the dining room.
Or see. So, Shannon, have you ever met this person called Beatrice before?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
That was a slightly odd way to say it. It didn't quite sound as if she was saying her memory was hazy. For us servants, Beatrice is the second master of this mansion. Some people say we've spread that rumor because of the master's influence, but even when I just started working here, the story of Beatrice was already being whispered of.
I've heard about it before. If you don't show respect, you'll get cursed. And at least one servant actually did meet with an accident, right?
Yes, but it's true that some people believed more than others. I, believe respect for that sort of thing shouldn't be forgotten, so I have never doubted that she exists. I vaguely believed that a, shadowy being called the Golden Witch existed.
And then the witch, whose existence was so shadowy and obscure, actually showed herself and entered openly through the entrance hall. Is that what happened?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
When you brought her dinner, did you talk about anything?
No, nothing.
Or see. Still, witch that eats food somehow doesn't sound so realistic. Maybe after all, it's just someone who knows about the witch legend on the island. Someone who's talking all Beatrice's name. Well, I think you've probably come to respect Beatrice and think of her as something like a guardian god of the mansion. So when a person actually appeared going by that name, maybe you were a little disturbed.
That's right. I guess that must be the case. George was slightly at a loss at what to do about Shannon's downcast appearance. Maybe not just Genji, but even the young servants had been ruthlessly questioned as to whether they knew anything about this Beatrice person. Thinking that, he tried to cheer her up somehow. Surely, just like Marie and Jessica, Shannon was unable to fully hide the agitation caused by the sudden visit of this person calling herself the Golden Witch. He'd been so sure that was the case. But George probably had no way of looking into Shannon's heart. Shannon was bitter and sad. The door to the Golden Land would be opened. The witch had definitely told her that. That meant the demise of everything. Even if she accepted the ring from George, they would never be married now. No, in the first place. Did furniture like her even have the right to be married? Even if the witch hadn't come to signal their demise, wasn't their relationship fated to fail sooner or later? Had she turned her gaze to focus solely on those fun days spent with George, while purposefully closing her eyes to the sad reality?
What's wrong? You really haven't looked well for a while now.
George, what does it mean to be engaged?
Huh? What, it means making a promise to marry, but I think in that sense it means the same thing as marriage. To be honest, I want to take you home as my wife right away. But right now I'm in the middle of training and I'm still a long way from having the capacity to create my own castle. That's why I want to take you home with me, with my head held high, only after I've become a full adult. I'm not talking about the distant future. I just want to wait a short 3 years. But that doesn't mean I want to lie about my feelings for another 3 years. So I decided to give you an engagement ring. That might be a shameful reason as a man. Maybe it's shameful to get engaged because I want you to wait, since I can't support my work and a wife at the same time yet. But I will definitely.
Thank you very much. I understand that to you, George, an engagement ring means something different from one of many presents you'd give to a lover.
Well, of course, it's different. Our engagement ring isn't a simple accessory. It's an oath between lovers, a noble promise left in the form of a ring.
So, if we were to get married right away, it'd be completely meaningless, right?
Then it wouldn't be an engagement ring. Or I'd give it to you as a wedding ring. Either way, I'd still be giving you a ring.
So, it's a sold sign, like saying, this woman is mine, nobody touch her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I...
George knew that he was weak by nature. When he had been captivated by Shannon and had sworn to become an excellent man, he had also sworn to throw away that weak part of himself. So even if he had to be blunt about it, he chose to answer a little roughly. He was sure that doing so would bolster and reassure Shannon.
No, that may be true. Sayo, I'll make you my wife. I won't give you anyone else. I'll make you mine alone, so no one will lay a hand on you. That's what this ring is, without a doubt.
Thank you very much, George. I'm truly happy. Then, George, if it was decided by fate that this engagement ring, that this promise could never be fulfilled, would you still give it to me? Shannon tried to ask that, but she swallowed her words. Because George had already spoken the answer. George had said it. He had said that, to him, an engagement ring was infinitely similar to a wedding ring. Therefore, accepting George's ring had a significance far more sacred than a promise to marry.
So, I'll stop calling this an engagement ring. From now on, this isn't an engagement. It's a wedding ring.
Is that really okay? Is it okay to, just proclaim that we're married without even God's blessing?
Yeah, it's enough to tell God, Father, and Mother about afterwards. We'll tell them that we've been married. No one will be able to undo it. Ha, fucking get wrecked, scrubs.
George!
I'm not saying this because of a momentary emotion. I'm not just looking at how you are now. I'm looking at the you of tomorrow, of the next day. I'm even gazing at you as you be in old age in the future as I stay with you.
You're always...
Yeah.
You're always talking about that, George. About how you want to enjoy your old age slowly, surrounded by healthy children and grandchildren.
Yeah. At that time, an older you will be beside me. That is what I expect. No. What I foresee. Yeah. Because that day will surely come.
Will it surely come?
Yeah. 100%. Definitely. This ring proves it without words. So, it's gonna happen.
Please, show me.
Here it is.
George, thinking he was being told to show her the ring, hurriedly pulled out the ring box. Even though he had practiced so much, he hadn't been able to do it cool. But Shannon wasn't looking at that. In her straight and direct gaze were vague tears and a smile. She focused her eyes on George's eyes. No, on something she could see behind his eyes. Please, Show me that future.
Yeah, I'll show you. Surely. I'll promise it. And not just until old age. After we die too. Even when we become spirits, we'll always be together.
Shannon wiped away her tears and took the ring box. Inside was a diamond ring worthy of blessing the two of them. George said the line that he'd practiced over and over again inside his head.
I want you to put this ring on whatever finger you like, and have that be your answer. So by tomorrow morning.
Shannon smiled, took the ring, and with a completely natural movement, put it on the ring finger of her left hand. It really had looked like such a natural, ordinary movement, and for a while, George was stunned. This is my answer, George.
Shannon, no. Say it.
Even when we become spirits, we'll always be together, George. There was no blessing from God, no pastor to witness, nothing. But the two who were married proclaimed it. Two souls were joined here today.
And now they're gonna be torn apart.
That's the second Twilight.
Oh, right, yeah. Not yet.
Now we're inside the mansion? Oh.
Yeah.
Nasan, you're a fool. Is that so? Even though you're furniture. I'm not furniture. Not anymore. Liar. Why are you fooling yourself? Even though you know you can never become human. Even though you know you can't become human unless you go to the Golden Land. Knowing that, why did you abandon the promise that would let you go there? Oh, right. By accepting the ring, that promise with Beatrice comes to nothing, doesn't it? I'm sorry. From now on, I, you, George, the Master, and everyone else are under the same conditions. 13 people will be sacrificed. Only 5 people will be invited to the Golden Land. And you rejected one of those places yourself. That's odd. It looks like you're the one with regrets, Canon. You're the one with regrets, aren't you, Nasan? You got engaged, right? Even though you knew it was a fate that would never be fulfilled. Yes, I promised that we would always be together, for eternity. So you know what? In that instant, our eternity was completed. Even if we become sacrifices, it's already completed. So, it's okay. Canon, you're the one who actually has regrets. We're furniture, right? We'll be freed no matter the result. So it doesn't matter whether we go to the Golden Land or not. And yet, you're set on going there. You want to become human no matter what, right? Why? Because I want to become human. I've had enough of being furniture. Why? I wanted to fall in love too. Tears were coming from Canon's eyes, and he howled. I liked Milady, and after seeing Milady that day, I started liking her even more, and when I heard that Milady also liked me, I was really happy. But I'm furniture, and I can't accept Milady's feelings. You're wrong. We may be furniture, we may be less than human, but that doesn't mean that we aren't qualified to love. I thought that, if these feelings would ever come to anything, I'd be better off not having them. I just decided that eventually I'd disappear and that it'd definitely hurt her. No, that's wrong. I was just frightened. I was just afraid, thinking that any love that couldn't be eternal was best avoided. Even though their lives only last a few weeks, cicadas fall in love and then vanish. But you'll never find a cicada that refused to fall in love simply because it'd end in a few weeks. Ah! Ah! It seemed that Cannon was still muttering his regrets, but by now it was all jumbled up with his sobs. That witch is detestable. Why did she plant these feelings in me? If only she hadn't pulled that bizarre prank, I wouldn't have paid Milady any notice. Beatrice is detestable. To make you cry bitter tears, she played games with your fate. But I don't think things went as the witch expected. After all, knowing love isn't a regret that ties you to life. It is the destination we're supposed to reach in our journey through life. Poor Cannon.
Poor Cannon.
He just
He's
needs.
gonna
He
grow
just
up and be
needed
like
to
an
get
incel.
laid before he died. That was it. He's just a poor.
Yeah, that's
he's
all
an
it was.
incel.
He's an incel now, yeah.
Well, now, Cannon, that promise you worked so hard for has now come to nothing. Very well then. With this, the conditions for all of the pieces are the same. There are 18 pieces. 13 will be offered as sacrifices. Who will the 5 survivors be? Find out next week on Rockin'
On
Jima
Dragon Ball
TV.
Z.
Or else, will someone destroy the ceremony? Who? How?
What?
This isn't a chess problem. It's a game on an equal footing. I won't be cornering you one-sidedly, Mike. You'll be able to frantically escape my advances and force a tie, an invalid match. At any rate, I doubt you can manage more than repeating that over and over, and it probably won't be that difficult for you. However, this invalid match will continue forever, until it eventually wears down your mind and kills it. That is when you'll accept your defeat and surrender to me. Tony.
Nope.
There's a reason I said it was a game on an equal footing. That's because rules for my loss have also been established. There's nothing as boring as a game you can't lose, right? As for how to defeat me, that would be the epitaph that stands as an offering to my portrait. It's both the way to open the door to the Golden Land and the key to destroying my ceremony. I'll try to complete the ceremony in accordance with the epitaph. You'll try to solve the riddle of the epitaph, destroy the ceremony, and overthrow me. Solve the riddle hidden in the epitaph, and expose the location of the vast sum of gold I gave Kinzo. What result will this game show us? I'm expecting a good fight, okay? Entertain me, Mike. Was Shiromi a battler?
I'm actually Kraus now. It is just Kraus.
Where is this?
A church. Maybe this is the golden location place.
It's Kraus.
He's Kraus. Oh wow. I have no objections. That's when I acknowledge it.
I can't believe it, and I don't want to. But this is the truth, isn't it?
Natsui, choose your words more carefully. She is the family's honored guest.
I also acknowledge it. Can't argue back.
Yes, I acknowledge it. I have absolutely no complaints. I can't believe you have my honest respect. Oh, me too. Incredible. I genuinely respect you, so I have to acknowledge it. I acknowledge it too. I still can't believe it. Still, what can I do? You've proven, devils. It's your victory.
The devil's proof was once a convenient excuse you used to deal with unprovable facts, but now it's become your mortal enemy, has it not?
Don't torture me, mighty witch. I've already acknowledged you. I resign.
Kyrie, do you still have objections? I must have everyone in agreement. If you alone will not acknowledge my existence. As the witch laughed boldly, the siblings started getting frantic. They were afraid of displeasing the witch. Kyrie lightly closed her eyes, and after keeping silent for a while, opened her mouth. My apologies. I resign. Only Kyrie had faced the witch with stern eyes until the end. However, this had only resulted in her refusing to accept the truth for a short time. The truth, the being, that was before her eyes, couldn't be denied. Devils had already been proven. I also acknowledge it. You are Beatrice, the Ushiromiya family alchemist, and a user of great magic. I must acknowledge the fact that you are a witch.
Oh. Fuck, dude. Oh no, the rose garden.
Yeah,
No,
the
it's
rose
completely
garden.
fucked. Man.
The mansion.
The mansion. So that looked like the tea room, but like far away. Because I remember that window and also the table.
I remember Beatrice's portrait.
Okay. Oh, that's the epitaph right there. I didn't even notice that it was on the left-hand side. Wow. So he did have a mistress named Beatrice who he boned. And that's weird.
Oh, there's
I wouldn't bone
now
a bitch.
showing all the characters again.
Who are gonna die.
Just like it did last time.
You know?
Just like it did in episode 1. It showed all the characters at the end of the first night.
Oh, and it's like, who's gonna die now? Who is going to die?
Probably Canon. Canon's gonna die
Probably
6
Maria.
times. It'll just be him.
He'll die
For
six
the
times.
first-
What is he,
for
a
the
fucking cat? He has 9 lives. He's still fine after that. And what if Beatrice dies, like herself?
Beatrice is the first
She
to
just fucking killed herself with her own
die.
roll.
Last
By
time you
putting herself
said.
as an...
Last time I remember you said you thought that Ava and Hideyoshi were going to die.
Yeah. Still holds true. I think maybe all of the... I don't know, that last scene seems kind of weird to me. So maybe like all of those... All of them? All of them are dead? All of them are dead.
All of who?
All of them.
All of...
All of them who were talking with Beatrice on the last scene.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Maybe. If it's
But
right,
that would
then
mean
I've
that
solved
Rudolph
this
and
entire
Kyrie...
mystery.
That would mean that Rudolph and Kyrie die first again.
Yeah. But like, it kind of makes sense.
6 in the
Now there's
morning.
no adults except for the servants. Actually, yeah, they'd be kind of retarded. Who's this?
But I guess it makes sense since they're the smartest ones.
Yeah.
The second day, October 5, 1986.
Holy shit.
That was yesterday. Except not 1986. That was like years ago. But October 5.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts?
Let me check. So she was like, solve my fucking epitaph or else you're doomed. So I'll solve the epitaph. And then I'll just do that and then I'm gonna win. And then that's it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
works.
so all I gotta do is just solve the mystery and then I win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do
that's
that.
how you
Like
get to
right
the
now.
Golden Land and get the
Yeah,
money.
I'll do that.
That's how you get to the Golden Land and get the money.
It's like, okay. So Nanjo was like, yeah, he actually did have a mistress called Beatrice, but I never met her.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, but she died? So I'm thinking that it's probably the same thing that happened with, like, the blue hair girl.
Mm.
Like in
Higurashi?
Yeah, that one. Like in that, she just like instead of dying, she just became a witch.
Mm.
So, maybe.
And in the first episode, when they're in Kinzo's study, before they kick Genji and Nanjo and Maria and Kumasawa out, they ask Genji about it, and Genji said that Kinzo never had a kid with Beatrice, but that Beatrice did exist, and that she died.
Okay, I forgot about that part. So, all right. Looks like we got Beatrice kind of figured out. I think that makes sense. But now, how do people die? That's the thing. I still haven't figured out how a single person like died.
You haven't figured out how a single person died?
Well, like I won't be able to know, but I don't have an answer that I'm satisfied with.
Well, last time you said, like, Rudolph and Kyrie faked their deaths and killed the
Yeah.
others. And that's a pretty satisfying answer to the first murders. I mean,
To the first
like,
murders, but then who the
you
fuck
said,
got into the closed room?
You said Ava and Hideyoshi died from secret passages.
Yeah.
Which,
But that's... I don't know. I don't think that'd be a good writing. But maybe, since they were talking about it, they were talking about fucking secret passageways. I never checked that room.
Yeah, they never checked
So,
that room.
I don't know. Maybe someone climbed up from the shower drain. Who the fuck knows?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
goodbye, everybody. See
Yeah,
you
think about it later.
Friday.
See you Friday.